So many of you know I'm a pretty big fan of the Akaso brand. I like kind of their price point per performance that they have. And I think for the dollar amount, you actually get a really nice action camera. I've been testing out a lot of their V50 series. So the V50 Pro, the V50 Pro Special Edition, the V50 Elite. But what happens if we drop down and go to one of their cheaper models? Today we're going to look at, and this is going to be an unboxing, and we're going to take it outside and kind of go shoot around to see what we think of the performance, and then give it a last little bit of a review. So all this coming in, and this is of the Akaso EK7000 4K action camera. That's coming up. All right, my friends, so here it is. This is it right here. The Akaso Ultra HD 4K Edition Action Camera EK7000. So I got this myself off of Amazon, and here it is right here. The Akaso, about $80 Canadian. This is on the Amazon store. Now, the cool thing is, of course, I got it in just the standard black, but as you can see here, it comes in the black. It comes in this kind of whitey gray color, silver, I guess they call it, and this like baby bluish kind of color. Hey, it's nice to have options, and one of the bonuses, again, kind of this blue, for instance, I would think if you kind of throw that camera in your bag, it would be really easy to find. So that's actually kind of handy. We look at here, and hey, you have a 2.4 gigahertz remote control. That's cool, for up to about 10 meters. So that's kind of neat. If we scroll down here, we'll actually see this. Someone has a video, but we're going to see more video from me. Budget friendly, easy to use, worth the price, great GoPro alternative for the average user. I love this. Beware, fake reviews, not HD quality. Well, we're going to find out, because it's not only HD, but it says it's 4K. We're going to take a look. What does this guy say? Image quality is not as advertised, grainy at both 1080 and 4K. We're going to find this out, and I have a feeling that when everybody else says, I always love it when people are like, oh, it's fake. Fake news. Fake news. Usually either you had a defective unit, which is always possible, or let's just admit that maybe your computer can't handle it, or the SD card that you put in can't handle it, or possibly you don't quite know what you're doing, which is also possibly something. And I don't know for sure, but we're going to find out, because I always see little odd negative reviews on things, and I'm like, no, that looks fine, especially when everybody else is like 5-star, 5-star. 939 customer reviews and 940 customer ratings, giving this 4.5 stars. So you're telling me out of 940 ratings, you're the only one that was just like, no, that's not true. Fake. I get it if there was like 5 or 6, then the odds are possibly in your favor of them being like, oh, these are bought and paid for. Well, they definitely didn't buy and pay for 940 reviews. That's how a company goes out of business. What about their own site? So this here is the Akaso site. So you can see it here, the Akaso 700. Now this comes in around $59 American if you're in the US, or you just use the American dollars as your frame of reference. 30 meters waterproof with the case. Has some different angles. Now I'm going to agree, I don't know if you'll necessarily get this kind of image quality, but we'll find out. You do have a cool little wrist thing. I don't usually use them, but I may try this one just to kind of look, and you guys can kind of go through and take a look. There's the manual download if you so want to look at that before you even buy one. Okay, so here's the box. Akaso action camera. It took a lot longer than I thought. Let's find a knife and see what comes in this box, and I think this is just a nice little simple something or other here. We'll just kind of zip this over. There's one on every side. Oh, not only is there that, but there's like an actual bag or like a saran wrap or something on top of this. So I'm going to cut both at the same time. There we go. Let's see if that does anything magical. All right, so get that wrapping off there. I'm going to bring this up here. This is like your traditional GoPro-esque, container. It looks very GoPro-esque, actually. And I just put this kind of right here. You guys can see that again. And simply, we're just going to kind of flip this lid up, because that should be all it needs to come off. This, my guess, will pull out. That's kind of nice. Throw that over there. You guys can look at it if you so choose. Akaso. And this is the box. What we're gonna do is take this off. This is actually on one of the different mounts already, so you simply are just gonna kind of click. I don't know if you guys can see that. You click the top here. I'm always like, it's so easy, and then I can't do it. You gotta take the little, there's like a little rubber gasket here, and that comes out so that you can clip these together and then slide it. There we go. Because if not, that little gasket or that little rubber piece, this piece, you can see it right here. Hopefully you guys can see that right there. This little rubber piece is designed to go into this when it's mounted so that it kind of locks it into place so nothing can squeeze this and this detach. It's like a safety thing. Safety things are good. What's in here, you may ask? Well, I'm going to answer that for you because this should be a bunch of stuff. And again, me and boxes, right? You'd think I'd be better at this. Nope, not better at this. Maybe this side? Yeah, there we go. Right off the bat, what do we get? We get our little strap. So this is going to be your wrist guy strap thing. Put that there. We have some bunch of GoPro stuff, right? These are all kinds of GoPro mounts. This little clamp mount. Keep moving this over. There's your USB. It's a micro USB. We have a bunch of more mount stuff. We have, this is kind of the 1/4 inch to GoPro. We have some Velcro straps. We have some zip tie downs, as well as some like 3M backing straps. We have, oh, this is your battery charger. That's important. Battery charger, because more GoPro. My guess is handlebar mounts are important. This is like a J hook adapter. That's nice. You get not one, no sir, no ma'am, no you, two batteries. Look at that, two. We like two batteries. Two batteries, fantastic. We get a naked case. So if you are not going underwater and you want it to be able to continue to record, actually a bit more sound, and not have to go through a second set of glass, that can be also very useful. So we get the naked. I usually have it in the naked case. We get a second backing, and backing number 1, which may be on here already, backing number 2. And usually what happens is one of these backings has a bit more, I want to say holes in them. And this one does, I think, on the sides here. So this is great if you want a case that can get a little bit of sound, but it's not going to be 100% waterproof and or dustproof, but it is going to give you that extra bit of protection because it's still in this case. It's just not waterproof. A lot of videos online, if you're like, how do I change the back of a GoPro case or a Akaso case? They're there. Just go find them, right? Last but not least, what do we got? We have, we want to hear from you. We have an action camera, 2.4 gigahertz remote. Oh, so it tells you how to use the remote. That's a good manual, actually. That's fairly big for just a remote. That's cool. And you get the quick reference guide. So there you go, EK7000 action guide right there. Akaso, nice and big. You are also going to be able to see here, you have the QR codes to be able to go get the Akaso software for your smartphone, if you so choose. Do I ever use that? No, I don't. Oh, and a little picture of how to put the battery in and the SD card. Very cool. That's, voila, this is it. So we're gonna go outside and we are going to try this out. I'm not sure where we're gonna go, but we'll go somewhere. Try it out, right? See what the quality is like. I'll shoot it primarily in 1080. We'll do some 1080 and we'll do some 4K, because that was the big concern that this person said, is it wasn't either, right? It wasn't either. So we'll take a look to see if it is. Now, the one thing to be aware of is in 4K, this camera only shoots 25 frame. That's kind of an odd number, right? It's a very European standard number, but here in North America, 24, 30, and 60 are the big one. So I know that their V50 line can do, a lot of times, some of them do actually 4K 60 and 30 and 24, but 25 is a little bit of a different one. We're gonna take a look, see what it looks like, and we'll do that right now. All right, guys, let's go. All right, so we're doing a test of this camera, and I'm gonna make sure I put the resolution and that on the screen for you guys. You know what it's being recorded in, and we're gonna go hiking around here today, but everything from this point forward will be using this camera. So let's see how well it does.
Eventually it'll happen.
That's right. All right, so we've done our 2-hour hike, and I'm gonna go home and take a look at this. My knees are about ready to explode.
It was really steep.
It was steep.
At the end.
Yep. So I'm gonna go. Well, we're gonna go home, and I'm gonna take a look at the footage, and we'll see what we think. All right. Alright guys, so we're back now. Video quality of this, actually, at that price point, again, sub $100 camera, I think it's really good. The one thing you have to be aware of is that this does not have any kind of stabilization. It's all non-stabilized, so you are the stabilizer. So if you're capable of holding your hand steady, or if you're someone that's going to put this on like a little tripod or something and put it on the ground, or you're going to have it on like a chesty mount or a helmet mount, then it's probably not going to be a big deal. If you are someone that's going to be walking and shooting, more of a big deal. You'll notice at the beginning of that last kind of segment there that I was hand holding it and talking while I was walking, and it's definitely bouncy. The other shots, of course, I'm either sitting and I'm trying to really hold the camera steady, or I have it placed on a little tripod on the ground, or I have it mounted at a tree or something. Stabilization wasn't a factor. But colors, actually, I thought were really good. Detail, actually, not bad at all. 4K 25 gives you a little bit of slowdown if you want it, not lots, depending on the timeline you're in. And of course, the 1080p 60 gave you some really nice slowdown. But I thought the colors and sharpness were actually pretty decent. You definitely see it more on the focal range when it's out. It seems to really have a really nice focus at about just outside of arm's reach. You can really see that. So when I was shooting backwards, I thought it looked actually surprisingly well. Audio is where this camera suffers though. So I thought maybe it was because I was shooting in 4K and that maybe the memory card was slow. I wasn't sure. Beginning section when I'm holding the camera and the ending section, I couldn't. And again, I didn't want to edit it or anything. I couldn't get, or it didn't seem to sync up the audio with the video. And again, I thought maybe it was a slow card, but I do a little test sample here. A little test sample this morning just to see if I could figure out what was happening. Okay, since I had problems with some of the audio out there, I wanted to see if it was a problem with the memory card or a problem with the audio when it gets in certain resolutions. So you can hear this. This right now is in 4K 25, so we'll see how that audio syncs up. I'm going to switch it now. Okay, so this is now in 2.7K 30 frames. So we'll see now if the audio is syncing up properly, if we're stuttering or anything like that. So 2.7K, 30 frames. And last but not least, 1080p 30. So we'll see now if it has any issues dealing with, again, audio syncing as well as just sound quality. So it could be that because this is an older action camera, the EK7000, that maybe the processor isn't, especially with the 4K, up to handling both processing the 4K and processing the audio. So we'll see. Even in 4K, 2.7K, and 1080p 30, which would be one of the slower ones, which means it wouldn't need a crazy fast card, it still has this syncing issue. So an issue with kind of get that audio. So the audio seems to be just slightly out of sync. Fixable? Sure. 100%. That could be a game changer in regards to you being like, nope, can't have this, don't want it, because I don't want to go through that effort. Or you could be like, I don't care because it's going to be in a waterproof housing and nobody's going to hear the audio. I'm going to put music over top of it and it's not really going to be a concern, like the majority of the video I was playing. Outside of those two talking points, just music. So it really wouldn't have mattered. And at, you know, 70, 80 bucks Canadian, you know, around 50, $60 American, maybe you're like, no, that's perfect. The image quality is great. It's what I need. And then, cool, I got a link. You can go get one. Got a link down below. Other than that, settings are good. There's not a lot of settings in there. Basically resolution. Setting up your timestamp if you want it, if you don't want it. So that's not an issue. Photo quality, actually. Photo quality. I took some photos. Here, take a look. And I was pleasantly surprised actually with the photo quality. You just got to give it some time. So if you're setting it up, it has a good chance to get its exposure set up right. But I think it did an actually pretty good job, especially when it's shooting such a wide lens. The only thing I wish is that the ratio could be modified. That would have been nice. But again, I'm nitpicking a little bit here in regards to that. Anyways, I'm going to leave that for you guys right now. Again, the link's down below here if you guys would like to get this camera because, you know what, you're on a budget. Recommendations is that if you do need a little bit more, the Akaso V50 Pro line. So they have a Pro and a Pro SE. Better cameras, but you are probably coming close to double the price. But you get electronic image stabilization, sound that seems to sync up really nice. And on the V50 Pros, you also get an external mic port, allows you to plug in their microphone. Nobody else's, but theirs, but at least you get the option. Okay guys, again, link down below. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down there because it's always appreciated. And like, comment, share, and subscribe. That's it. We will see you guys in the next video. Later, my friends.